thanks everyone for the introduction. So I assume everyone is having at least 3+ experience in CyberArk, except Abdul and I think except Abdul and Akshay. Rest of all, you have the at least 3+ experience in CyberArk. So on the basis of that only, I'll be asking the questions. So and also like if I'll be asking the question, if anyone knows, he can just unmute and then answer. Okay. So first question. So we'll start from L1 and we'll cover the L2 and L3 also, like some question, because in the interview they may ask related to implementation or some your this basic questions also. Okay. So the first is like the vault and your components. Do you know how they communicate with each other and the ports, like the port, which port they use for the communication?
I think 1358.
1858.
Sorry,
Yep,
1858.
yep,
The vault communicates with other components with 1858, and we have CPM interacting with other target devices with 135 and 138.
Sorry, it's 135,
9.
139
9,
and
9.
445.
445. Yeah,
445.
445 also. Yeah.
yep, correct.
Guys, it's question related to vault to other component. Okay, it means CPM, and you are asking in the 135, 145. It's related to CPM.
Yep,
Okay.
It's only related to vault 2 and other components. 1858. Okay.
yep.
Okay.
And also, what I'll do, or we can do one thing, like I can name like who can answer. If he don't know, if he or she don't know, we'll pass it on to others. So that will be a because otherwise then there will be echo, everyone speaking at the same time, and that can just disturb this. So
Yeah, it's
yep. So I'll be asking like I can name and you can just answer that. Okay, and at the end I'll be giving the feedback also. So yep, okay. Okay. So next question is what are the main services of the Vault server, your digital Vault server? So Sayed, if you can answer. Sayed, you there?
Yes. So main services of the digital vault you're asking. I would say that it kind of keep all the password related stuff, and it keeps all the information in it, right? And it has all the encryption in place. Uh,
Yeah, I am asking the services. What are the services? Okay. Okay, look, pass it on to Priya, if you can tell.
Yeah, we have like 6 services: CyberArk Event Notification Engine, CyberArk Hardened Windows Firewall, Logic Container, CyberArk Logic Container, PrivateArk Database, PrivateArk Server, PrivateArk Remote Control Agent.
Okay. And okay, next question is, do you know which is the main service? Like main service. If
Uh,
that service goes down, then and all rest of the services depend upon the that service involved.
PrivateArk Server.
Uh-huh. Pass it. Let's pass it on to uh, Abdul.
sir, it's PrivateArk database.
Yep, correct. Okay. So moving to next questions. Okay, so what is the main configuration file in Vault server? Main configuration file in the Vault server. So Ankur, if you can answer.
Yeah, dbpalm.ini.
Okay, correct. Okay. Okay, so moving to next. Just 1 minute. Okay. So next question is like suppose I believe everyone is aware of the password upload utility, how you run that utility, correct? So what is the main configuration file for your password upload utility to run? So, Jankarit, if you can answer. Jankarit, you there?
I'm sorry, did you ask the main config file?
Main configuration file for to run your password upload utility.
Uh, is it vault.ini?
No.
Is it conf.ini?
Yes, it's conf.ini. Yep. Okay. And do you guys know how the password upload utility runs? Like what application, different application or different utility it uses at the backend to run that password upload utility? Uh, Ankur, Syed, anyone?
No.
Could you repeat the question?
Like password upload utility uses some backend thing to run. Some
To
backend
run?
utility or something is required to run that password
Mhm.
upload utility because it needs to connect to the your vault server. So what utility helps to run this password upload utility?
PowerShell. PowerShell. We do give all the information to connect, and we can. The CSV file has to be prepared for this, and CSV file we have to give all the information like the password
No, no,
name, user.
that is the medium you are using.
The we
That is used
our
to
auth file with admin credentials.
yep. But
That's right.
like yeah, something
Sir,
a
I think
channel.
we need to create an CRED file to
Yeah,
run that
yeah,
password upload.
that CRED file is used to authentication purpose. It will authenticate. So it uses Packly at the backend.
Okay. The tool. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, at the backend to connect because your Packly is a private command line interface. If you will see in the password upload utility in that setup file itself, you will see a Packly in it. If you have
Mhm.
seen that, a Packly is there inside your password upload utility folder. If you have seen that. Okay. Okay. Moving to next. Okay. So what's the use of the PSM Connect and Admin Connect, PSM Admin Connect users? So Ankur, if you can answer.
Yeah, PSM admin connect for see the live session and connect for the live session. Sorry, session record.
No, not exactly. Uh, Priya, if you can answer this.
Yeah. PSM Connect.
Sorry, I can PSM connect for login in PSM and PSM connect admin connect for
Live session mode.
live session. Yeah.
Yep, yep. So your PSM Connect is used to generally log in to PSM server locally,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
Admin Connect is for your live session monitoring.
Live session.
Okay. Okay, so suppose your connection, you are connected to a target server using that connect button. So which user is used to upload the recordings because there will be a recording will be going on at the back end where you are being recorded, you see a message. So at the which user is used to upload the recording when the session is disconnected. So which user is used to upload that recording to the vault server?
PSM app user.
Yes. Okay. And so suppose I want to create a new recording safe and I want like for Windows a new recording safe will be there. For Unix team there will be a new recording safe. So how you can just create that new recording safe so that if Windows team is connecting to the Windows server, so their recording should be stored in the Windows server. And similarly for Unix team, their connection will store in the Unix recording safe. Sayed, if you can.
basically, whatever the recordings or the sessions that are recorded by PSM uh, will be stored in a temporary folder, right? So, and these sessions will be carried out by the PSM app user. There,
Yep.
uh,
No,
there we can.
yeah, that's fine. The recordings, like how you will create the new recording safes, because I want to segregate now. Because if you will, by default, there is a safe called PSM recordings. So every your video files will be going to that. Every your video recording keystroke logs will be gets stored in the PSM recording safe. But now I want to segregate that.
Okay. So you
And
need to specify like for particular safe, these sessions will be going when.
yeah, how that safe I'll be creating. Ankur,
No, sir.
okay. Abdul,
Sir, we can create safe in a PWA, sir. But giving access to that safe, we need to give it a vault level only, I think.
okay.
Hmm.
Mm,
We have different platforms now, sir. For Windows team, we can create one type of platform.
yep.
For Linux team, we can create Unix SSH, and by selecting these two platforms, we can create those two safes. And for these safes, we cannot provide access. I think we can provide in a vault level also.
I think by duplicating the platform, I guess we can
But
create this
if you
kind
will
of integrity.
if you will duplicate the platform, everything there in the platform will duplicate. It will not create the safe. Only the platform duplicate platform will be there. Okay. So the best way to create a recording safe. So suppose you have a Windows platform. So if you will edit that platform, there is a section privilege session management, and there you will see the name of your recording safe, PSM recording. By default name is PSM recording. So if you will, like suppose you want to create a new safe, so just provide a name there. Instead of PSM recording, just write anything. Like suppose you are creating a safe for Windows, just type Windows recording and apply and OK. So when the user will connect to that any of the server using that platform, so automatically a new safe with the default permissions will gets created on the vault. That's the best practice to create the safes.
Could you explain it once again, Anil?
Yes. So in every platform, if you will edit that platform, you will see there is a PSM recording safe name is there. If you will go to if you will edit any of the platform, and by default name is the PSM recording. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to create a new safe, so you can just change that name. Instead of PSM recordings, you can give the name whatever you want and just save that configuration, that after putting a name, and then when the first connection, like the new connection will be built using that platform, so automatically a new recording safe will be created on the vault server automatically.
Okay.
Yep. Now with the default permissions. This is
Okay.
the best way, because your different users have to you can also create it manually, but again if you will miss any of the permissions, so it will you will be having some issue. You are not able to connect to target server, so because every user has its own permission. If you will go to save, if you will check the permission, your PSM master, your PWA, different auditors, different users will be having different permissions. So manual is a, like if you will miss any of the group or any permission, which can just lead to any issue. So it's this is the recommended way. B- because you just need to change the name, automatically a new save will be created when a new session will be established.
New safe will be created with default these
Yes,
things.
yeah. And this will be only new save will be created when a user will connect, like, yeah, using that platform, new platform. Then only that automatically safe will be created.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So next question is, suppose you have created a safe in CyberArk in PWA you have created, and to one user, there are two users. Suppose you have added two users to that safe, and to both the users you have provided full access on that safe. Like, we can go to the safe and just add member, and we can just provide the access, correct? We have provided all access, like both the users have list connect, they can just do anything in that safe. But I want one user shouldn't copy the password without removing his permission from safe. Like, suppose you have onboarded one account and to that safe only, and both the users, like suppose a user and b user, there are two users, and both A and B users have full permission on that safe, and I have onboarded one account in that safe, and now I want to restrict A user not to just use that password, not to see that password without removing the permissions from the safe. So any idea on this, how we can do that? Okay, no one. Ankur, Abdul, Priya.
Safe level authorizations only, we can make some changes. I think
No,
so.
I don't want to, because they have all access in safe. So in master policy, there is a policy, if you have seen. That policy is your EPV, allow EPV
Yeah, EPV allow.
transparent connection. So there you can add this exception, and you can just make it like users will not be able to retrieve the password.
So they cannot, they can, we can remove from the connect button from the user via EPV.
No, no, no. Connect button will be there. We can
Show
just,
option, show
yeah,
option.
yeah, show
Show
options.
option you can remove.
Yeah, show options. You can, and you can just make that active for that platform. Like suppose one platform or two platform, you can make that.
Okay.
So it's there in the EPV. Okay. So moving to next question. Okay. Suppose you have onboarded the account in CyberArk, and you wanted to know when that account was onboarded in CyberArk, because it's been you didn't remember the exact date. So how you will find that exact date, like on which date this account was onboarded or created in CyberArk?
Can we check in the privileged accounts inventory report?
It will not show that when that account was onboarded.
We can check in entertainment report.
uh, in any of
So
the
we can
report,
check in activities.
so your vault will
Activity.
not store that much old activity.
Okay.
Yep, because it's been 2 years or 3 years, you wanted to know that activity, you will not get, because your audit retention period, like suppose you are having 90 days, or so it will just remove the expired history. So there is a option, like in in every of the reports. If you will go to the option, like administration tab, then options. So there is a report section. If you will just add one parameter there, like creation date. So what will happen? It will then just put that creation date in that reports and just apply and okay. So just do a IS reset, restart your IS services, and when you will just generate a report, so in that you will see that creation date, like when this account was created in CyberArk. So you need to add that parameter manually.
Add that parameter to which report, Nir?
Compliance you can add.
Compliance.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So from there we can get to see how many privileged accounts are there and all. We'll get to see the information as well, right?
Yes, yes. And there is another report also, privilege account inventory. If you will see number of accounts. But that report also will not show dependencies. If you have some dependencies, some service account, even your usages accounts, it will not show up. Okay.
And how can we increase the capacity of a particular user?
Capacity means
I
you
mean, the
mean,
license or could be
so that we need to get the license from CyberArk, and you can just replace the license.
okay,
Yeah,
replace the
yeah,
license.
yes,
Okay.
with the current one, then automatically EPV license capacity will be increased. Okay, moving to next question. Anyone can just tell me the workflow, like suppose when you are clicking on the change or verify or reconcile option. So what is the workflow of your CPM? How CPM changes the password and how it communicate?
So first, if we click on change button,
Mhm.
it will check if the password is same in the CyberArk and the target machine. Once it checks, if it is matches,
How it will
no,
check?
first we need to verify, I guess.
Okay, let's take the verify. So how it will verify?
Means it will verify if both the passwords are same or not.
Yes, yes, how it will verify?
By using plugin engine.
Mm, no.
Prompt there is a
Let's say it's a Windows account then.
a DLL file. That
Yep, those are used, but how it will verify the password? Yeah, this password is correct or not? Because your DLL file will not have access to, like suppose it's an AD account, domain account.
okay, okay.
So how your DLL file will verify? It will not be. How your CPM will verify, yeah, this is the correct password. Because your plugin engine just give the instruction, like, and your conditions, your everything is like managed by your plugin, or you can say Windows DLL file. But the verification, how the verification is done? Okay, so what are the ports being used by CPM for Windows and Linux account?
139404.
One
Sorry.
It's 22, 139, 135, and 445.
Okay,
Windows.
22 for Unix.
yes.
For Windows.
Sorry to interrupt. So guys, it's just like a Windows, Windows phenomena. Just we reset our password of our systems, just like that only.
Yep. So like suppose when you are hitting the change option also. So first step always what CPM do, it will use that username and password. It will try to connect to that server with the same username and password. And if it's able to connect, then which means your first step is Done. First step is successful. Your verification is successful. In second step, what it will do, it will come to like cyber that the password complexity. It will generate a password, and again it will log in with the same username and password. And after login, again it will try to change the password. And if it's able to change the password, then it will log out, and again it will try to log in back with the new credential, new password. And if it's able to log in successfully, then it will save that password in vault. So that's your workflow of change. So in reconcile also, like suppose you if you are hitting the reconcile button, so there is a another reconcile account associated. If you have seen, there is a associated. So what CPM will do, CPM will use that reconcile account to log into that target server, and it will just like first in every your change, verify, reconcile, the first is the login process only. If your login is done, other if your login is failed, then it will notify the vault like this is the issue. If your change or reconcile account doesn't have that permission. If it's able to log in successfully, then first step is met, and then second it will just again generate the password, and it will log in back, and it will just reset the password of that account in reconcile. And again it will log out, and again it will log in back to that target server with the new username, new password. And when it is successful, then again it will come to vault, and it will store that new password in vault. So that's your workflow of CPM. In the interview, most of the time this question is asked, if you know the workflow, how CPM is changing the password. Okay. Okay, so like anyone worked on the DR drill, or know like what is DR drill, or what types of DR drill we have, or you can say the failover failback.
Yeah, Nir.
Okay, so anyone can tell me about the like how you will achieve the automatic failover.
The automatic failover actually in the DR drill. This is I mean I'm just explaining that whatever that I have
Okay.
I mean under my knowledge. So basically the DR drill process is considered to be related to a business continuity planning. Like, if any disaster happens, we have to have a complete data of our organization. Basically, we consider RTOs and RPO in this DR drills, like, how much data we can be recovered, and uh, how much I mean till what time the data can be recovered. I mean how much data and how till what time the data can be recovered. So we will be using a replication here. I mean we need to check the PIDR.log file for the replication, and we need to make some changes in the configuration file padr.ini. Basically, the DR drills are like automatic and manual.
Okay.
Automatic is something if it happens naturally, if there is some
Okay, so what is the
problem.
main, like suppose you want to configure the automatic failover only. So
Hmm.
what you will configure?
We need to make changes in the config file padr.ini,
Okay.
and the failover for mode should be yes.
Okay. Oh,
Right, and in that we have some these things, specific parameters that we should be giving, like, to try when the primary vault stopped working, the DR vault tries to hit primary vault like for 5 times. That is the default value, and we can give some time interval as well. So how much data that has to be carried out from DR to EV and all. And basically in DR drill, the CPM machine has to be disabled. Otherwise, if when the data is transferring, the CPM machine, there will be a password sync issues that happens. So to avoid that, we need to disable the CPM machine.
okay, so partially correct. Others, Abdul, Ankur. Shankar.
Sir, in that all the time a configuration file enable failover mode is equal to set as, and that automatic
Which
failover mode
configuration file,
should be
Abdul?
set to
Which configuration file?
in PADR, sir, in PADR.
And Neil, I think we have to enable this private database service and event notification engine service should be active so that when the
Where it should be active?
sorry involved
On which wall? Production or
In
DR?
disaster.
uh, in DR.
Okay. Others, Ankur, Shankarit, if you want to add something to this.
Yeah, actually, at this time when we are going to fail over, then service should be on cluster vault for the active and digital vault.
Let's take the standalone only.
Okay, take storage online from primary to secondary, and in PAD change the set the parameter in padr.ini file and initiate the full replication. And after that, check the full replication on a primary and stop the all services and on DR site, and all services should be start like that, and restart the digital vault and check the services on a service like cluster vault should be on active, digital vault on active, and disaster recovery on a inactive mode. That
Okay, okay. So, Jankarit, if you want to add something on it, onto this.
No need, not as of now.
Okay. So, guys, like if someone asks about the DR drill, simply say like if he's just like asking what is an automatic failover. If he's not asking, you can say like there are two types of DR drill we have, or failover you can say. One is the automatic failover and another is the manual failover. So in the automatic failover, which is the recommended one, so in the automatic failover, what happens when your production is down? So automatically your DR server, DR vault server will come online. And what's the main parameter? So if you will go to the DR vault in the padr.ini file, there is a parameter enable failover equal to yes. That should be set to yes, and your private database service should be set to automatic because on your DR side, because your rest of the services, your private server service, your logic container service depend upon the private database. So private database service should be set to automatic, and there is a retries count defined in the padr.ini file like 5 times by default. You can change also if you want. So what will happen if your production is going down? Your DR vault will try to communicate to the production. It will try to see if it will not get any response from the production vault 5 times, which is a default value. So what it will do? Your DR service will be terminated, and your private server will come online in DR side. So that is your automatic failover. But for the manual failover, because manual failover, you are forcing the DR to come online. So there is a parameter you need to add in your padr.ini file in DR side. So your enable failover equal to, which was yes in for automatic, you need to make it no, because now we are doing the manual failover. So enable failover should be set to no, and you need to add one more parameter, which is activate manual failover equal to yes. So after specifying this value, you save this file and just restart the DR service on your DR vault. So it will see like it needs to promote, like it need to go to failover mode. So automatically your DR service will be terminated and your private arc server service will come online on DR side. So that is your manual failover. But if it is asked in the interview, always try to tell them about the automatic, because your automatic is straightforward, and most of the organization you will see automatic is there, because you want something automatic. If your production is going down, you will not come to know. So automatically your DR vault will come online. And on your DR side, when your DR service is running, so on that side, your private database service will be running, your logic container plus your disaster service will be running. So when your DR will become production, will be active. So your DR service will be terminated. Then your private arc database will be running, logic container will be running, your private arc server service will be running, and if you can also run your email notification engine also, because that is an optional service if you want to run. But these three services should be running: your private arc server, logic container, and database. These are the main services. Okay. So moving to next question. Okay, so about let's so difference between the LDAP and LDAPS. Anyone, if you can just let us know about the
LDAP and LDAP is nothing but, when we configure the PVWA component, we will be taking the certificate, which is going to, I mean, we are basically making the website secure with the port numbers we are using for HTTP. Oh, sorry, yeah,
So Priya, give like answer that basically LDAP is a protocol which is used for the
yes,
communication. Okay.
yes, huh.
And LDAP use 389 port number and LDAP use 636 port number.
636, yes, yes,
so
for
you
the
need to
multi
Now you can give answer.
I'm basically telling this HTTP and HTTPS, SSL and non-SSL thing.
It's a different thing. It's a
Yeah, it's a
different thing.
different thing.
HTTP different
Sorry.
thing. LDAP and LDAP is a
Huh.
different thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So the basic difference is for the certificate only, right?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm asking the differences of the certificate only, right? Secure certificate, SSL certificate,
port number also.
port number as 389 and 636.
686.
Okay. So what is LDAP?
Lightweight Active Directory Protocol.
Lightweight directory access
It's
protocol. Okay.
access
Okay. So
protocol.
what is this? Like why it is being used?
It is used to communicate between the Active Directory and the Vault.
We are integrating the Active Directory with the Vault.
Yep.
With this tool, yeah, with this tool,
So
this protocol we are using basically to integrate Active Directory to CyberArk Vault.
Yep. So if in the interview this is asked, so you need to give the simple, like the straightforward, like what's the difference between LDAP and LDAPS? So where you can say LDAP is not secure, LDAP is secured using a certificate. The connection to the AD is via secure mode using the SSL certificate. And LDAP is a protocol which is used to connect to your AD, Active Directory. So that is your LDAP. Like like we have RDP and SSH, those are also protocol which are like RDP is used to connect to a Windows server. SSH is for the Linux based. So similarly, LDAP is used to connect to your AD, that communication to AD. Okay, so moving to next question. Okay, okay. So what is the main service which is used in the account discovery, or you can say the auto discovery?
CA scanner.
Yep. And how it communicate to PVW server?
CA scanner communicates with PVWA through API configuration key that is there. So with that key, it communicates with PVWA.
Yep. Which protocol it use?
I don't know.
Okay. So CPM, the scanner service is generally used for the account discovery only, and it communicate via HTTPS to PWA server. And for that you need a certificate also for that trusted connection. And if you will, after installing the CPM, if you will see, if you will go to the installation directory, there is a API key gets created, and that's why that sequence has changed. Earlier the sequence was like you need to install Vault and then CPM, then PWA. But during when this API was introduced, and that sequence of installation was changed. Now you need to install Vault and then PWA, then CPM. But okay, so the next question is, uh, okay, so like generally when you just have that exclusive policy, and like how that exclusive policy and how your account is getting unlocked, like which user is doing the unlock. Like suppose you have exclusive policy on one of the platform and you have used one account, so that account will be logged on your name, like this account is logged by like anyone you can say, and then you need to how that account will be getting unlocked automatically.
Account log for user side or for the AD/ID
No, no,
side, like generic
user
ID
side
side?
in CyberArk, not in AD. That is a different thing. It's getting logged. Like suppose in CyberArk you are using an account, and after you have used that account, you are seeing a message. This account is logged by you. Your name will appear there. So how that account will be unlocked? Which user is doing that? Okay, CPM generally unlock the account. So CPM, what it will do, it will rotate the password of that account and it will unlock that account also. And
CP,
yeah,
CPM user.
yes, CPM user, your password manager user. CPM is a
Okay,
name of the
fine, fine,
component.
fine.
And
Password manager the
yep,
user.
in 11.7, earlier it was done by the CPM only, but in 11.7 your PSM app user can also unlock the account. For that you need to set one parameter in the platform. There is a parameter, if you will edit the platform, there is a parameter, I think, unlock account in the PSM setting. There is a privilege session management. If you will click on it, you will see there is some setting unlock. If you will make that parameter yes, so your PSM app user can unlock the account, and this was introduced in version 11.7 onwards. Earlier it was not there. So if someone asks, so you can answer like PSM app user. And also if you will create a new safe, so you will see automatically PSM app users will have that unlock permission. By default, it's getting added to that safe.
So is it PSM app user or the password manager user, CPM?
CPM both can unlock the account. If for to
Okay.
use the PSM app user, you need to enable that parameter.
Parameter in
Yep,
PWA.
yes, in platform in PWA. But for your CPM, it's
So
already
how
there. Yep.
how much time it will take?
There is a minimum validity period there in your platform. So after that is expired, then only these like your this will be unlocked. Account will be unlocked. Okay. Moving to next question.
Neer, so these guys have some doubt also, so you can take 20 to 25 minutes for a doubt session also. Okay.
Okay, okay. So last question, then we will take a doubt session
Yeah.
also. Let's and after that doubt this question, I'll give the feedback also. So what like who need to work on which topic? Okay. Last question is
Neer, can you ask some questions on CPM connectivity stuff?
okay,
CPM,
okay,
I don't know, but I just want to have some information on this CPM connectivity, these things
okay.
and all.
So suppose you are changing the password of an account. You are clicking on the change option, and
Okay.
the it's failing. You are getting like account is failed or incorrect username or password or WinRC equal to file or different errors you can say. Different errors you are getting. So how you will troubleshoot that issue? How you will troubleshoot it?
So when the CPM user is connecting the target machine, is an we'll check if the user has the same user account is there in the AD or not. We'll
It's
check.
a local account, let's
Uh,
suppose, not the AD account. Local account it is.
CPM. We'll check for the PSM app user if the
PSM
app
app
user. Uh, yes.
PSM app is a different component. It's not related.
So sorry. Sorry.
We'll check in the target server whether the user is there or not.
Oh,
That account is there.
okay. Suppose user is also there.
And maybe the password has been changed by in only target server.
But CPM is not able to reach to the target server.
There may be mismatch in
We'll check the port.
target and
So need to check
vault.
the complexity or need to change the device, change the settings
Yeah,
some
like
from device
few
owner.
yeah few minutes back I have just explained the workflow. So just remember that workflow. In first stage, what it do in the first step, it will not go to the password complexity. It will not generate that password. So first step, what it will do? Yeah,
Yes.
someone was saying the check the port. Who was Vikas or Sarvan? Who was saying?
Yeah, check in both target server and as well as vault. Uh, the password is matching or not. We need to check first of all.
No, I'm changing the password. I'm not match. I'm clicking on the verify option.
Okay.
I'm just want to change the
Need to
password
check.
of that account. Yes,
Yeah, need to check the password complexity. That should be same on both PVW and target machine.
it's same.
Maybe the account may be disabled.
Account is also enabled.
That is local account.
In local account also we have the disabled option.
Mm.
Uh,
Something related to
CPM is
server guys.
unable to
yes, yes, please.
CPM is unable to access the target server. Maybe via port is disabled.
Okay,
We need to check if the CPM service is up or not first
it's up
thing.
and running.
We need to check the ports enabled or not.
Check the log files of CPM, like what is the issue that is causing like
We
an error log or the log files.
Okay,
If it is network issue,
we
we'll
can check
troubleshoot the
suppose
network.
the Windows firewall is blocking the ports.
uh,
Need to
it's
check
there
the
is
CPM services password.
okay. CPM service is also running, and Abdul, the Windows firewall we are using external firewall. Windows firewall is not being used.
Yes.
We are using an external firewall. So if you will,
Maybe the user is
yep, yep. Go ahead.
giving a bad, I mean, a different username or the different password, or you know, which are not related to the. parameters that we set in this.
Okay. But user, if I
User
say username is also correct, address is also correct. But I'm saying CPM is not able to reach to that target server. Why it's not able to reach?
Right, something
Maybe
related to
IP
the server.
Yes, Ravan.
IP of the targets.
It's also correct. IP is also
IP
correct.
maybe
IP
wrong.
is also correct. Like someone was saying in between, port is block.
Yes, ports
I
might
only
be
said
Yep.
network issue, port might be blocked.
Okay, so suppose port is blocked. That's why CPM is not able to reach. Then how you will troubleshoot it? What will you be doing now? Like you got the yeah, this is the error and we need to fix this. So how you will fix this now?
we can check TCP port in
No, no,
PowerShell, whether
yeah,
it is
yeah,
closed.
port you got it. Yeah, port you got it.
We
Yeah,
have we have
this is the issue. You got the port was the issue, and that's why the password change was not happening. Now you what you will do?
And you need to enable
we
the
create
Windows port number also
We
in
need to
CPM.
open the port for this particular
Okay,
CPM.
where you will open that
we
port?
create inbound or outbound rules.
We need to.
Abdul, as I said, it's not a local firewall. So if you will create on
Okay,
the
okay.
local inbound and outbound, that will not be effective. That will not be applied. Yes, Priya, you were saying something. Go ahead.
There is something called allow non-standard port. There's a parameter actually there. We need to specify the CPM port, I guess.
Yeah, you identified like these are the ports and all, and you got this is the issue. So now next step, what you will be doing?
So yeah, the port opening path is we need to go to dbpom.ini. In there we have a parameter called allow non-standard.
Yeah, that
Uh,
is used for like suppose if you want to give access to a server to log into your this vault. If you are and
mhm,
you if you want to open a port also, and that for that you provide that firewall rule allow non-standard and IP address of that and port number.
particular
Yep,
machine.
yep. For the communication,
So,
but that is not related to this.
so we need to allow the port number in inbound and outbound rules in CPM as well as target
Yeah, as I said, it's
server.
not the local firewall. It's the
Okay, okay.
like external firewall. Simply, you just need to reach out to the firewall
So I
team.
think we need to discuss with network
Yes,
team,
yes,
and then
correct,
they will.
correct. You need to reach out to them and ask them like open this port. That's it.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's not that hard. So like because why I'm asking this question? So interviewer will come to know have you worked on the operation part or not? Because this is very common issue. You will be definitely you must have got this issue once or twice till your CyberArk career or more than that.
Right, right.
So we need to connect to the network team and get that
Yeah,
open from that
yes,
too.
the port. So, like, suppose I'll tell you the troubleshooting steps. So, always if you get an issue with your PVWA or CPM or PSM, then you just need to first of all make sure your service is running. First thing you can check. And also, what happens sometime I'll tell you. So, suppose your every errors are defined in the vault side. If you will go to for Linux, you will see the process and prompt file. You will see the errors are defined there. So sometimes what happens, CyberArk is also not able to distinguish between the errors, and it will just give the same error. So you always need to make sure, and this is only sometime it happens. So from the errors, you will not be able to make out like what's the issue. So in that case, always check this first the service of the your component is running or not, the ports are opened or not, and if that your that's like CPM, like suppose there is an issue with the your this password manager is suspended or something, yeah, that will be within that only the service is running or not, then only it will be successful. And after that, like if you will find something that was the issue with the port number, or you need to your CPM service was not running, or there is a policy on the target server which is not allowing the password change, or the password, then it will come the password complexity, because at the first step your CPM is not able to reach. So if it will have the password complexity issue, so it will just give that error, like the password complexity is different in CyberArk and in target server. So you can just match that. But basic troubleshooting will be that only. Always check the port services are running or not, or your that account have the permission to change the password or not. Like if you are using the reconcile account. So these, and also sometimes due to the policy also, you have some GPO like group policy that is not allowing the password change. Like suppose on a target server, there is a policy. The password can only be changed in 24 hours. It will be changed only once. So suppose you have already changed one time, but if you have a one-time password policy, so if CPM is again changing the password, then your server will not accept, because there is a policy on the server side which will say like, yeah, in 24 hours you cannot update the second password. It will only be applied once. So, and similar with the PSM, and like you can check the services, the port number, always try the connection, and then you can just troubleshoot the issue. And because in production there will be a separate team, your firewall team will be there. If you like, sometime if you are using the PSM, load balancer team is there. If some issue with the load balancer also, so always reach out to them and ask. Okay, yes, guys, I'm done. So if you want, I can.
Can you discuss
Yes.
some more common like issues, normal everyday issues that come up, troubleshooting that we do?
That's lots of issue, Jankrit. Like sometime your you are not able to connect to a target server, your PSM service is not running, or your PSM Connect user and admin Connect password is expired, and the ports are not open, or the username and password is incorrect in CyberArk. So that is related to your PSM app user, sorry, PSM component. And for your PWA server, you can say sometime your URL is not loading. You are not able to log into PWA server, or URL is not loading, or in that case your PWA app user is suspended, or your IS service, your web server service is not running, and there is some issue with your load balancer which is not able to route the traffic to the PWAs.
So what could be the troubleshooting steps that we have to do for this scenario that you just said,
So
load balancer
yeah,
thing?
so load balance, always check your PWA logs. You can always check in the C drive Windows temp folder. There is a temp folder, and there inside temp folder you will find a PWA folder, and there in that PWA folder you can check the logs. You will get the logs related to your URL if you are having issue with your PWA web address is not loading, or some issue. So you can see everything in that those logs. If the PWA app user is not able, is suspended, or your web
No, with the
service is
yeah.
not running. Yep.
So if a user is suspended, what do we do in that case?
So for that we need to log into private ARC client. We need to activate that user, PWA app user. We need to set a password, and same password we need to update on the PWA server using that CRED file. We need to create that CRED file for that PWA, and then you can just run the IS reset, and then you can just try to load the URL. And first, I would say the feedback if I would give. So everyone needs to work really hard, because in the interview, if like suppose if you are giving the L1 interview also, they nowadays they are asking some scenarios based question. Scenario based questions are asked in the interview. So if you are, that's why you need to practice a lot. You will see only one or two questions will be asked directly, like what is the use of the PSM Connect or Admin Connect. So most of the question, I believe you are already many of you were already attending the interview, and most of the questions are asked scenario based. So just you need to learn more related to operations also and the basics also. Like I asked one question like what were the services of the CyberArk Vault? Like many of you were not able to answer that correctly. What is the port number used by the vault? And your vault doesn't communicate to the component. Your component communicates to the vault server via that 1858 port. And other questions were very basic. These questions were you can say for L1 or L2 only. Not only one or two or three question you can say that was for the L2 roles, and rest of the all questions were for L1 only. So please start working on CyberArk and first make your basics strong. Like you can first of all you can learn about a vault. You can take one component one by one. Like check the services, what are the main log files, the port numbers are being used, what are the prerequisites to install a vault server, etc. And then you can spend like 1 week or 5 days on a single server, and then you can rest of the component. Okay. Yes, guys. So and one thing, if I would have taken the interview in real time, I wouldn't have selected any one of you. Sorry for that. Yes, guys, please go ahead. Any doubt if you want to
Yeah.
ask? Yes.
Can you provide any real-time scenarios,
Again, Shravan, like
like any PDF?
please don't like there are lots of documents. Like suppose I have told you one scenario. There is a your password upload utility is not running. So the issue was related to vault.ini. In the vault.ini, it was pointing to the DR vault. So your
Okay.
utility should be pointed to production vault, active vault only. So that's why it was not running. But like if interviewer asked this question, and you said he was asking like, have you faced any some critical or something issue which took some time to troubleshoot? So if you are saying this error to him, so if he will ask, let's suppose vault.ini was also correct. It was pointing to the active vault, but still your password upload utility is not running. Can you tell me what could be the reason? So question can be made from the questions. If you will answer, then again he can just make the questions out of it. If you will start giving the answer, then again the question of it. So that's why the interviews nowadays like going on. For that, don't rely on the this PDF file and all. You can like suppose you got the documents and everything. You are able to just clear the interview. Suppose you cleared the interview, you started working in CyberArk. They will assign you some project. So in the project, they will start giving you the task. They will be no training at all. They will be training only to make you understand the process, what the process is followed in that company. But you need to work at your own. In some company, you need to work as an individual contributor. They will align to one project, and you will be working with client. And in that time, you cannot say like I don't know this, because in the interview, in the CV, you have mentioned this. So my suggestion is please learn the basics, and then there are like there are lots of document in going on. So please, if you are good with the basics, you can just easily crack any interview, and also you will not face any issue while working also in CyberArk. Yes, please go ahead. Yes.
So Neil, they will ask us about real-time scenarios. How can we practice it? Because even if we read the documents, if we don't know how to do it in real time, so
Prepare
that
your
would be a
lab.
problem.
Prepare your lab. Install in your system. Install Vault, PWA, CPM, PSM, and then just start practicing on these three or four component. Then you will get the issue because practical thing. Because if like suppose you are, if someone is asking for the real time issue, and you are just like memorize the your real time issues from a document. So
Right.
interviewer, because interviewer is taking lots of interview on daily basis, and if he is good in CyberArk, he will just catch you in few minutes. Yeah, this guy is just memorize the things. He don't have that practical knowledge. So that's why I say just uh, have some basics. First of all, work on the basics. Your basics should be strong. Then you can just move to the advanced and other topics as well.
Need, for example, if you have one APV, one DR, two PVWS,
Yep.
uh, one CPM, four PSMs. This is the architecture.
Okay.
Could you please tell me how can I explain this architecture in the interview?
So simply say if he's asking about the architecture in the introduction, don't tell about the architecture. If he's asking
Okay.
in the, because introduction is what you have worked on which component, you need to just share your experience in which
Mm-hmm.
when you started your career, and what was your position, what would your roles and responsibilities in the first company and second company and third company, on which thing you have worked, like you have worked on the upgrade, you were part of the implementation team, you worked on the documentation and all. And if he's asking about the architecture, then you can say, yeah, we in our uh, company we have one production vault, one standalone production vault, one standalone DR vault. We have three CPMs and four PVWS or two PVWS. And if you have other component also, we have one PT and etc. And there are 50,000 or 1 lakh accounts, and we are using the SAML or the LDAPS authentication to log into the CyberArk. So you can say in that way.
And for now, just to get an experience of the interviews, what all questions are being asked. So, apart from the mock session that we had, so if we have to explain our responsibilities for operations, so what should we mention?
In the operations, if you are working in operation, you can say my day-to-day task is need to work on the some troubleshooting. If there is a troubleshooting ticket is there, and if there are onboarding tickets, need to work on like how you are doing the onboarding. Like suppose you are doing the manual onboarding, or you are using the password upload utility. And if there are any critical tickets need to troubleshoot related to CPM, PVWA, PSM, and also checking like doing the health check also. And apart from that, I am also working on the REST API. I am learning that. So you can just add on thing also, like you can let them know, yeah, he or she is learning this also. Something you can add. And in I think let me just share one. I think Sandeep might have shared already. Sandeep, have you shared the some questions or something already to them?
Yeah, I think 20 interviews question there. It's related to L1, I think.
Okay.
I think I've
So
shared,
in
yeah.
that question, you will find there is a, I think related to this
Yeah,
also.
the first question
Uh,
is what was your job
yep.
responsibility? Yeah, the first question is that, yeah.
So I would say, please make your basics strong. Otherwise, like somehow, if you clear the interview also, so in the production you will face lot of trouble, because if you don't know the, like suppose in the CV you have mentioned you have worked on the DR drill or failover, they will just assign you tasks like on next month we need to perform a DR drill. Please prepare the document and plan it. So in that scenario you will be trouble. So please focus on the basic part, and you can also take your time, 1 week time or 2 week or 3 week, then let us know, or you can ping Sandeep, and again we can have a mock session.
Can we discuss doubts right now because we have only 4 minutes left, or should we, or can we have a separate session for that?
Uh, you can ask like, did there are many doubts or one or two?
Yeah, I have around 10-15 questions.
Oh, freak. So, Shankar,
Those are like general questions only.
okay, go ahead. Like, we'll try to explain.
Okay, so my first question is, does Vault have to be a physical server always, or can it be on AWS as well?
If you are installing on-prem, then it should be a physical only. On AWS Azure, if you are installing a cloud, it can be a virtual.
So usually in organizations, is it physical?
Yeah, if they have installed on the on-premises, then it
Okay,
will
okay.
be the physical only.
And if they ask us about the version, so if we say we are working on 11.2 or 11.7, so it's on 2016 server.
They will not be asking because it's a Windows server. Version is your CyberArk version. It's 11.34 or 12.6 is the latest one. So and this 16 or 19, 2019, these are the Windows server version.
Yes. So do we? Can they ask like
Yeah,
related to
yeah.
this?
If they ask, you can say we are using Windows 2016 for all the
Okay.
components.
Okay. And so how do we usually get to onboard accounts? Like, do we get it manually? Like, if we have 50,000 accounts in our
Uh,
architecture. Okay, so do we get it manually? Do we get to upload it manually or through password upload
so
utility?
suppose I am giving you uh, 5,000 account to onboard. So how you will do it?
Okay.
You will do it manually.
No,
So
no.
it depend upon the
Access.
request. Like if you are getting a bulk
Okay.
request, so you need to, yes, you can use the password upload utility.
And if there are few accounts,
Yeah,
then we can go
yes,
for the
yes,
manual
one
one.
or two account or five account also you can go manually also.
Okay. And how do we get to know like uh, which safe do we have to add? Like for us, it will be a normal Windows platform, right? Windows safe.
Okay.
If we
In the suppose in the your company, you might be getting a request. Like suppose there is a different team, Windows or Unix. You need to ask like to which account you want the access, and then if you will search that account in CyberArk, you will get the safe name also. Then you can on that safe you can add that user so that he will get the access to that safe and the accounts which are stored in that safe.
Okay, so do we have like multiple safes or do we have a single
Multiple
safe
safe
for like
for
Windows?
every team we have a different safe.
Okay, for every different
Yep.
team. Okay, that would depend on the team that
Yes,
we have it.
because you need to segregate. Like suppose there is a Windows Unix team, so you don't want Windows team to see the account of the Linux servers. Linux team will not be able to see the Windows accounts. So that's why we have different safes and we give the access on the safe. Like Unix team will be having access on the Unix safe only.
Do under Windows safe also do we have segregation? Like,
No, no, segregation you mean to say the access.
no safes like different
No, no,
safes.
safe is already like safe is the you can say the unit of your CyberArk. Like in safe, we store the accounts. Your password objects are get stored in a safe.
So what kind of safe do we have? Like do we have Windows safe and Linux safe and
Yes, yes, different.
like that
Yeah,
only?
different. Like it depends upon the different team we have. Like you have
Okay.
firewall team,
Okay.
Linux, or
Safe is just like a Almira, Jankrit, in normal word you can say. Just like Almira, you can, put your jewelry and something there. So credential is your jewelry and safe is just like your Almira. Okay.
No, I get that. I was just asking, like, if we have like Windows, Linux, and what other saves do we have?
Yes, depend on the
Yeah,
team.
depending
Okay,
upon
Okay.
team.
single team have a different safe. I think one team have a three safe,
Yes,
100 safe. Depend on the team. Okay,
yes.
so
Okay.
according that, okay, you can give the access user as per the object base and the safe level. Okay, safe level and object level. So if user wants to access any particular server, so you can just ask the safe. Okay, on which safe user wants to access. So just you search that safe and give the access according to the users. And if user wants to of the safe base level access, then you can search the safe and give the all access because with the single save you can add the multiple servers 100, 200, 500.
Okay,
So we have a different teams. Okay, in Windows section also we have a 100 teams and 200 teams. Okay, so it's depend on the team on which team you wants to give the
yep.
access. Okay.
So question on it,
Okay.
what is uh, the character limit when you are just creating a safe, you are giving a name to a safe. What is the character limit?
Yes, yes.
128.
128.
28.
Yeah, it's 28. Correct. You
Okay.
cannot give
Uh,
the name like the character cannot be exceed more than 28. Yep.
and is there a limit to the number of accounts that we can add to a save?
Yes, like generally there is no limit, but due to the performance issue, you can add up to 3 to 5,000 accounts because it depends upon the space. Like suppose by default, if you create a safe, the size of that safe is 50 MB. If you are onboarding the many accounts onto it, so safe that space will be occupied. And in that case, either you can increase the space or you can just create a new safe. But to uh, we don't want the any performance issue. We don't save more than 1,000 or 2,000 account in a single safe because your any team will not be having that much account in production. A single team will not be having 1,000 or 2,000 accounts. I can, yeah, for Unix I can say they might have, but not, I don't think so for other it will they will be having. But if they,
Yeah, mostly 400, 500
yes, yes,
maximum. I think I see this kind of
yep,
limit.
yep, correct.
And we
Okay.
can increase the safe size as
Yes,
well, right,
yes,
Puneet?
yes, you can include.
Right.
Okay. And what happens if CPM stops working on privileged accounts, like if it is not
Yep.
generating the passwords and
Yeah,
all?
you will know the password will not happen. It will not changing the password if CPM is not running. So like suppose today CPM was need to change the password of 100 accounts, which was getting expired in next 5 days. So if your CPM service is not running, then it will not be able to change the password of those accounts, 100 accounts.
So what troubleshooting we have to check? We have to check the CPM error logs, the log files and all,
Yes,
and
but you know, if CPM service is not running, we already know that service is not running. So that's why the password is not happening. But yes, there is a PM error logs. PM underscore error log is there on the CPM server. You can check the logs in that and you can find out what's the issue. Yes.
Okay, so when we do normal operations on daily basis, so are we performing those operations as CyberArk admins? What is the access that we're going to
It
have?
totally depend upon your company. If you are like in some of the company, they just segregate the access. Like L1 will have the less access, L2 will have more access than the L1. Then L3 is a vault admin. So totally depend upon the company. In some company, L1 is having all the access.
Okay.
How they will hide that all futures?
Sorry, all
How they will hide that all futures
feet.
like LDAP
Yeah,
integration
in a,
tab or
when
monitoring
yes,
tab?
when you do the LDAP integration, you need to create four groups. One is the Vault Admins group, another is your auditors group, and safe managers, and last is your users group. And if you want to give and if you will add, like suppose you there is a L3 and L1. So if you will add that L3 user to that Vault Admin group in AD, so automatically that L3 will get the all access. He can see, or he or she can see all the tabs But if you are adding a L1 user to a users group, which you integrated with the CyberArk while doing the LDAP integration. So in that case, that L1 user will be only able to see the account section only. So it depends upon the your groups which you have integrated with Vault.
So if our access will be limited, we would still be logging into PVW as CyberArk admin.
No, no, not the admin. Normal admin means you are having more privilege. You are having all the
Okay,
access. And login
okay,
is
okay.
just a login part. It doesn't mean that you are the admin. Okay.
So for adding safes and also uh, which privilege do we need to
You need
have?
to have the add safe permission.
Okay, okay.
Depend upon the permissions you have. So accordingly, only you can work in CyberArk. Okay. So guys, my suggestion is please like explore the basics part.